everyone, welcome back to DLC. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do a simple cut crease look. Okay, so I'm going to start off by priming my face with Photo Lover Primer by NYX. It's my favorite primer. Other than their like a Bear With Me one, I really like that one as well, but sometimes I now rely on this one because I've been using it for years and it's really good. And I'm just gonna apply that all over my face. All right, next, I'm just gonna take my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer and just apply that all over my eyelids. And now this is to help with the creasing that can happen throughout the day. This just helps to keep the eyeshadow intact. I find better than just primer alone because I am gonna use primer on top of it, but I find like this helps it a lot. I'm just gonna take my finger here to spread it all out evenly so that there's no like clumpiness or excess product. Okay, next I'm just gonna take the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and this one is in the shade Caffeine. I just like to get the eyeshadow primer that's similar to like my skin tone, or just that's a little bit tinted. Just because when I get like the clear ones or like the white or pale looking ones, I feel like it just doesn't go well with the eyeshadow and my skin tone. Like it'll just like change the tone of the eyeshadow. I don't know, that's just me. I find that, so I just like getting tinted eyeshadow primer. Okay, so next I'm gonna take a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just gonna take my Jaclyn Hill palette, and in the shade Pooter, the next shade over is called Pukey. How did I not know that was called that? Anyways, I'm gonna take the shade Pewter and kind of use it as a transition shade on my outer lid. So I'm gonna kind of work on the outer ends and work myself in. So let's take Pooter and I feel annoying saying that, and put that on the outer ends here and transition it as a transition shade. And you kind of want to put this in like a windshield wiper motion on the outer ends of your lids, as well as in the corner of your crease as well. Next, I'm just going to take a darker shade, which I'm going to use today, Chip, and kind of put that a little bit more inwards on my eyelids, still working on the outer crease. And honestly, this cut crease is not a lot of shadows you're going to be using because I wanted to keep it super simple. So for the outer ends, it's mostly 2 colors, and on the inner ends, we're going to work with 2 colors. So a total of 4. So now I'll take another brush. I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got this with my Carly Bybel palette, and I'm going to take the other end, the fluffier end, and apply the darker shade. And you kind of want to blend as you go, because this brush you can like blend with it, which is super nice as you're applying it, because you don't want any fine lines or it to not look blended, as you know, blended is the thing these days. But I mean, it looks nicer. And you kind of just want to build as you go as well. If you want it a little bit darker, then keep applying more product. But if you don't want it as dark, then you don't have to apply too much product. Now I kind of set the product first in the corner of the outer crease, and then I just start to blend it outwards to where I had that transition shade. Not as up, but just about halfway up towards the transition shade. All right, so now that you have that done and set, and you kind of have the look that you want and the darkness that you want, now we are going to go in and cut the crease, which is my favorite part, because up until about 2 years ago, I did not know this trick. I don't know why. I was just maybe living under a rock claiming I knew makeup, but clearly I did not. But basically, I didn't know that to get the cut crease look, you had to like go back in once you were done working on the outer ends to kind of cut the crease so that you get that like sharp line, that crease line. What I was doing before that, when I only did it like a few times because I was like, how are people doing this? This is so ugly. I would do the outer crease, but I would not go in with this step. Like, this step did not exist in my mind. There was no cutting the crease. I would basically just take like a very fine, like flat brush, kind of like this, and then I would take whatever product I was gonna like put in after I cut the crease, and then I would basically, so for my outer ends, I had to make sure like I was kind of cutting the crease as I went and applied the product. So I would like finely line it with the darker shade and then blend upwards, not to make sure it didn't go onto my lid. And then I would take the other shade and make sure I was lining it perfectly with the other shade. So like you can see the line, and like there was no like curvature, like there was nothing to go along with the actual eye shape. It would literally be a straight, like it would be straight, and it would just be eyeshadow on top and eyeshadow on the bottom. And honestly, I have a picture of back in the day, which I'm not gonna show because it looked so horrible. And you know, I had people telling me, oh, that looks so good, how did you do that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It looks so horrible. Anyways, I was just super like my mind was blown when I started actually researching how to do a cut crease, and I saw people doing this, and I was like, oh my god. And you know, that's what we're doing here today. So yeah, I thought I would tell that funny story, but it was just not, I just don't know why I wasn't thinking. Now you can, if the brush that you're using, like the concealer brush that you're using, is like shaped nicely where you can cut the crease, you can use the brush, or you can just take like a product on like a flat concealer brush and do it that way. But usually the NYX concealer brush is pretty okay for me. It cuts the crease just fine. And then another trick that I learned when I learned about cutting the crease was to go a little bit above your actual natural crease so that you're able to actually see the cut crease like line, because when you do it with your natural crease, it doesn't look good, and you can't see it at all, like when your eyes are open or anything like that. So when you do it a little bit above, when you're cutting the crease a little bit above your natural crease, it looks very pretty, I find. And also, don't do it in a straight line like I used to do. Follow the curve of your eye. Sometimes when I'm cutting the crease, I can't match both eyes. Like I'll make one a little bit lower than the other eye. So now I'm just a little bit more careful, and like if I make one high, then I make sure I try to match the other eye. Alright, so after you're done applying the concealer, I just went in already. I took the shade Bible by my Carly Bible palette. I would have shown you guys the palette. However, this morning when I was walking down my steps to bring my makeup where I do my makeup, I dropped the palette because it was sitting in my makeup packaging thing, my makeup box, and it slipped out and it fell. I mean, it didn't open and like splatter everywhere, but it was closed, and when it fell, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe all the shades are still intact, hopeful thinking. And then when I opened it, a few of the shades, I would say about 3 of the shades, are completely shattered within the actual box. So it's not pretty, but it could have been a lot worse, and I'm a little bit sad over it. Well, not that sad, because the shades are actually, all the shade is in the actual pot, so maybe I can like preserve it, like put some like kind of solution to make sure it like comes back together. I don't know, I'll find out. I'll look it up on YouTube because I'm sure I'm not the only person. And yeah, so I took the brush from the actual palette, and I'm using now the flatter side, the smaller side, not the fluffier side. And I took the shade Bible and I put that all over my lid where I put the concealer. Now you just want to be careful that you don't transition it into the actual cut crease. Now this is a very soft cut crease, not a harsh one, because I figured I could do that for another video, and I feel like going for a softer cut crease for today. And I think they're very pretty, very romantic looking, like you can use it for Valentine's Day coming up, things like that. So thought I'd do a softer look. And I really like this shade Bible. It's super like pastel-y and matte, and it's very nice looking. So once you're doing that, once you're done doing that, you're gonna go back in with chip, just a little bit, so that you can blend in the outer corners with the color Bible that you just put in, because it is not blended at all. And I think I wanna go for a little bit of a darker look on the outer end, so I'm gonna apply more product there. Okay, so once you're done that and you have the look you want, now I'm gonna get another brush here, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Mandela from the Carly Bybel palette, which is like a kind of like not a chromatic, but like it's a sparkly purple. Let's just go with that. It matches with the color Bybel. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my brush, tap out the excess, and then we're gonna lightly press that onto the color Bybel, just to get some sparkle. Now you don't have to do this. If you just want to go for a matte look, then you can just keep it as is, do your eyeliner, eyelashes, and be done with it. But I always like a little sparkle, so just gonna put a little bit on top. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with my gel eyeliner, and I'm using this Sephora brush that has a flat-ended angled brush here, and I'm gonna go in with my L'Oreal Blackest Black gel eyeliner. Now you can kind of make the eyeliner how you want, however thick you want it to be. You can go super dramatic, or you can go super thin and light. However, whatever look you're going for, you can make your eyeliner match that look. Now I'm kind of going for in between, not super dramatic and thick, but not super thin either. I'm gonna go for a nice medium eyeliner look. And then next, you can kind of just take a makeup wipe just to clean off the outer corners, because I don't know how people just have it sharp looking without doing this step, without using like any step at all. Like they just naturally can have like a sharp looking corner. That's amazing. I mean, one day, but for now I'll just stick with my makeup wipe just to sharpen up the look. So I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my look, so basically my foundation and all that good stuff, and then I'll be back to show you guys my lashes and how I did the bottom of my eyes just to complete the whole look. Alright guys, so I'm back. I finished off the rest of my look, applied some foundation, contour, lipstick, a little bit of blush, and I did apply some mascara on the top lid of my eyes. I didn't really feel like wearing lashes today, so I'm not gonna rock the lashes. And honestly, if you don't want to rock lashes, you don't have to, but if you do, then by all means add them on. So now just on the bottom lid of my eye, or the lower lash line, that's what it's called. I'm just gonna apply a darker shade. I think I'm gonna go with Mocha on the Jaclyn Hill palette and apply that on my lower lash line. And I kind of smoke that out a little bit. See, Mocha is not as dark as Chip because I didn't want a darker lash line, but I did want to add some color there. And then I'm gonna just take the color Bowley from the Carly Bybel palette and add that on the inner corners of my tear ducts, just to bring out the look and brighten it up a little bit. Oh, I got some eyeshadow in my eye. Oh Lord. Okay, we're good. All right, so there you have the finished look. Very soft, very pretty, very subtle, which is what I was going for. Not a very harsh cut crease. Very calm, subtle, like I said. It's super easy to do, again, just about 4 shades, and you can complete this look, which I really love, and it's easy. And if you would like to see some more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed. Bye for now.